it's their future, number one. I mean, we live in a great nation, and part of what makes it great is our nation of laws, all stemming from our Bill of Rights and the Constitution. And as I said just a minute ago, we make that a living document, aspiring to become that more perfect union.
I think that a lot of us are getting away from what the founders had intended with regard to our Bill of Rights and Constitution, and it's good to get refamiliarized with it. None of us can retain all the things that we learn, throughout life, so it's good to every now and then take a moment and say, what did that say again? And say, aha, those were the founding principles. You know what? Those kind of work. Those have kind of gotten us this far. Those have made us the greatest country on earth. Those are the things that enabled us to prosper more than any other country on the planet, to have been more philanthropic than any country by far in the world, in the history of the world. And so those founding guidelines and those beliefs are things that we should continue to make sure that we refamiliarize ourselves with.
I think this is an incredible opportunity, having this Constitution Day. I wish it was Constitution Week. We're living in a country that I don't think we really realize how extraordinary it is. We are the first on scene for natural disasters around the world. We are the most philanthropic country, on the planet by far. We are a country that cares more about people and doing the right thing than any other country. That doesn't mean we get it all right all the time.
Sure, it's very important for the students here at Moorpark College. I think in years past it was also called Civic Day. It's from the few students that I've seen right now this morning, many don't even know what the Green Party is, who we are.
Well, voting is extremely important. So this gives us access to the young people on campus, to get them to register to vote, and to be involved in their communities. To understand that involvement's very important. You do have power, and voting is your power.
Well, the significance of the U.S. Constitution can't be overstated. It's the single document that binds us all as Americans, and it articulates the principles of our form of government and our principles of the rights of the citizens.
Well, the Student Voice is sponsoring the Constitution Day event along with Associated Students, and we are funded by the President's Office, President Sanchez, who is speaking behind me right now. And I think our goal for this event is not only to increase civic engagement and knowledge about the issues of this upcoming election, but to increase voter registration, to encourage students to vote in this upcoming election, and also gain knowledge about the Constitution, which is pretty much what our country is based on and what makes today's democracy pretty much work.
To protect themselves, to know that there are protections for them, to know that there are places to go, to get help when they need help. If you don't have civil rights, then you have to be afraid to walk down the street.
That's a fundamental aspect of our democracy, and that's why this country is what it is.
Well, I think civic engagement is definitely important, especially for college students, and Moorpark College, we are all college students here on campus, and I think it's important that people are involved because we are the future, our generation, and to be knowledgeable not only about this election, but also the past, what our Constitution guarantees as far as rights and laws of our democracy, because we are the future. We're going to be the ones carrying on this legacy, so I think it's very important for students to get civically engaged and knowledgeable about this.
I think it's always important, again, going back to our founding fathers, our First Amendment rights of free speech are incredibly important. We're seeing things happen on college campuses now where they're trying to deny or shout down people. I think there's a civility that we're lacking at times, which is unfortunate, because sometimes by listening to the other side, you can learn something or you can modify your position. Not that you're going to abandon your core values or beliefs, but sometimes some of these issues do require you to kind of, look at the other stance and really quite, come to understand what it is the other side's, saying, because there are different points of views. I was chatting with a young woman earlier, a student here, that felt like there was only one reality. And I don't feel like there's one reality. I think people, all bring to the world their own reality, their own belief system, and it's good to hear what other people have to say in order to ultimately come up with public policy that will work for the most amount of people possible.
Well, first of all, I would say students are interested in the internet more than the older generation, so right now you want internet freedom. Also, in the old days you could speak anywhere on a campus. Now there's free speech zones. There's also, you have to be careful what you say. I've even had students come to me and tell me they couldn't even write a term paper because they figured the professor wouldn't want their views and give them a lesser grade. So they should be wanting to have more freedom to express themselves.
I do think that a lot of Americans aren't sufficiently informed of the U.S. Constitution and the rights, and I am really grateful to the Student Voice for staging and arranging today's observation of the Constitution.
Yes, and even people like me that are not in the classroom, it just kind of reminds us and reinforces us of what our obligations as a participating citizen are, and how diligent we must be to preserve our rights and this great nation. And it's not easy, but the more informed we are, the better we can be.